Next to the bun, there was a scarlet liquid, a half-eaten biscuit and a pink sachet. The black rabbit jumped angrily and kept shouting that it wanted to eat Tang Mo. Tang Mo did not look at it at all. However, the ground shook too much, causing Tang Mo to sway even when he was on the ground. He suddenly looked up with cold eyes. Shut up! The black rabbit was stunned and its mouth dropped open for a long time. A moment later, the black rabbit looked down at the hands on the clock again and its eyes widened with horror. There were only 30 seconds left. The second hand moved. Tang Mo looked at the 4 items and then the leftmost steamed bun. Just now, the black rabbit said that this was the delicious Stowaways barbecue bun sold in the underground kingdom. Once it said this, it acted surprised, like it really had slipped out and wasn't a lie. Tang Mo had actually heard of these buns. The best pub in the underground kingdom was the Banana Pub and the best bun store sold the delicious Stowaway buns. In the strange circus instance, Tang Mo and Fu Wenduo had stayed a week in the underground kingdom. Apart from protecting the earthworm and fighting with the 22 players, Tang Mo also quietly walked around the underground kingdom. The delicious Stowaways bun store was a special place. This bun store only sold meat buns where the stuffing was the meat of stowaways. The delicious Stowaways bun store never had an accurate opening time. The buns were sold whenever stowaways were caught. Tang Mo had wondered why the underground people liked to use stowaways to make buns, not bread and pizza. The answer was unknown. At this moment, he closed his eyes and took a deep breath. The strong aroma of meat came to his nose. It wasn't the smell of pork, beef, or mutton. Amidst this fragrant smell of meat, there was also the pungent smell of blood. Tang Mo looked at the scarlet liquid next to the delicious Stowaways bun and slowly smiled. He could guess what this was. On the opposite side of the truth clock, the black rabbit carefully looked at Tang Mo and kept swearing, as if it was worried that Tang Mo would find out the truth because of its words. Its eyes lingered on Tang Mo and its mouth was sweating, but its eyes were moving around. Clatter. Time was up. The blue wall slowly fell and Tang Mo looked at the black rabbit on the other side. The huge Russian doll opened its mouth and revealed its teeth. Human. CLA.S.S. Tang Mo looked at him calmly and didn't speak. It was unknown what Tang Mo was thinking. Once the truth clock asked them to give an answer, Tang Mo opened his mouth and quietly said a few words. The black rabbit saw Tang Mo talking and stared nervously at him. It sighed with relief when it saw Tang Mo say a few words and turned started to give its own answer. The hour and minute hands moved at the same time. Click. At Tang Mo's feet, the hour hand moved 3 times to the rear. At the black rabbit's feet, the minute hand was steady and didn't move. Tang Mo returned to the 23rd square while the black rabbit was still on the first square. Player 0 has triggered a level 3 gray fallacy. The angry black rabbit instantly quieted down and turned to look at Tang Mo. The black rabbit's red eyes stared at the truth clock and then Tang Mo. 3 seconds pas. Said and the black rabbit didn't hear the truth clock say the next words. Tang Mo's eyes shone as he looked strangely at the truth clock and then the black rabbit. The next moment, the black rabbit slammed into the wall and shouted, "How can you trigger the level 5 non-universal truth and escape punishment?" Tang Mo smiled. The black rabbit was still roaring. "You stupid human, I will eat you. I'll surely eat you. To be able to discover the level 5 non-universal truth, you must be a very delicious stowaway. I want to eat you, ah." The punishment of the truth clock arrived on schedule. The blue flames instantly rose, burning the black rabbit's wooden body. This time, the heat of the flames seemed to be higher than before. The black rabbit screamed as its wooden she.l.I was burnt black. Yet it still screamed at Tang Mo with all its might while being burnt. It said, "I want to eat you, and the truth clock must be wrong about you triggering the level 5 non-universal truth." 3 minutes later, the fire went out and the black rabbit fell to the ground. This time, it really became a black rabbit. The wooden body was burned all over and even the rabbit pattern originally drawn on it wasn't as clear. The black rabbit gasped for a while before finally stopping. It gathered its strength and started to yell at Tang Mo. It kept roaring, the irritating sound filling the dark s.p.a.ce. But no matter how angry it was, Tang Mo didn't say a word and just lowered his head. Tang Mo's hands were in his pockets, his left hand touching the gold coin while his right hand was rhythmically tapping on the turkey egg. 3 minutes later, Tang Mo sighed with relief and turned to look at the black rabbit. The black rabbit's yelling stopped immediately. Tang Mo said, "Just now, I told you to shut up. Can't you shut up?" The black rabbit was startled and didn't understand what Tang Mo was saying. Then it was reminded that Tang Mo had yelled at it to shut up during the game and it hadn't dared talk anymore. The black rabbit's expression changed and it started shouting again. The nosy voice echoed in the black s.p.a.ce for a long time. Tang Mo closed his eyes and acted like he couldn't hear anything. The black rabbit's yelling became louder and more abusive. The next second, Tang Mo's eyes opened and he pulled out the small parasol. The pink parasol drew a curve in the air, cutting apart the air as the tip pointed straight to the black rabbit's head. Tang Mo's eyes were cold and a fierce murderous intent escaped. If Fu Wenduo was here, he would find the scene a bit familiar. It was because Tang Mo learned from him. Fu Wenduo always gave off a different feeling when killing people. After the earth went online, Tang Mo had killed people in many stowaways. However, he didn't have Fu Wenduo's determination and decisiveness when killing. There were 2 types of killing intent in the world. One was Fu Wenduo's killing intent and the other wasn't Fu Wenduo's killing intent. The terrible feeling caused the black rabbit's voice to stop abruptly. Tang Mo's eyes were very cold, like purgatory. The black rabbit stopped in place, mouth open but not saying anything. Tang Mo's lips slowly curved. He whispered to himself, it is like this. Then he ignored the black rabbit, putting away the small parasol and looking at the ground. It seemed to happen over a long period of time, but it was only 3 seconds. The black rabbit's eyes shook slightly. The next moment, it snapped out, I must eat this damn human. Tang Mo sat on the ground and closed his eyes. In the 7th round, 12 items appeared on the truth clock. Tang Mo stopped in place while the black rabbit moved forward 2 squares. In the 8th round, there were 28 items on the truth clock. Tang Mo advanced 3 squares and the black rabbit advanced 1 square. The elimination of 28 items consumed a great deal of energy for Tang Mo, and the two of them also had to accept the public punishment of the truth clock. It was much better than the round where they had to eliminate 48 items, but Tang Mo still gasped and rubbed his temples. The black rabbit's situation also wasn't good. It didn't have the energy to be noisy anymore. There was a rare piece on the truth clock. Tang Mo stood on the 20th square and the black rabbit was on the 58th square. This was 22 squares apart. The blue clock was still S.H.I plus Ning, and the two players on the clock had an opportunity to rest quietly. The rest time always PAS. Said quickly, and the mechanical voice of the truth clock was heard again. The time is 1:30. Location, the truth clock. 2 objects rich in truth have appeared. This sentence caused Tang Mo's eyes to widen. The black rabbit was also shocked and stared at the truth clock with disbelief. Both pairs of eyes were fixed on the 2 lights in the center. Once they were revealed, the black rabbit was first stunned and then sighed with relief. It looked warily at Tang Mo. Tang Mo didn't notice as he was looking at the 2 things on the clock of truth. A black suspected chocolate item and a black owl. At first glance, there was no similarity between these 2 things. They didn't go together. However, only these 2 objects appeared on the truth clock. Instead to reason that in the absence of other items, a common point between them would become the individual truth. The long second hand started to move around the clock again, ticking down from 60 seconds. Tang Mo sat on the ground with his legs crossed, staring at the chocolate and owl on the truth clock. Just as the second hand was about to finish its countdown, he suddenly looked up at the opposite black rabbit and said, I don't like chocolate. If I had to choose, I think Dove is better than Ferrero. What do you think? As he finished speaking, the blue wall fell between Tang Mo and the black rabbit. Through this transparent blue wall, the black rabbit stared at Tang Mo. Once the wall rose again, the black rabbit shook so finely that it was imperceptible to the naked eye. It trembled as it looked between Tang Mo and the truth clock. Tang Mo lowered his head and waited for the truth clock to answer. Neither of them spoke. In the stillness of this dark S.P.A.ce, the truth clock's indifferent voice was heard. Player 0 has moved back 2 squares and player 6 has moved back 4 squares. The author has something to say. Tang, there are 2 types of killing intent in the world. One is Fu Wenduo's killing intent and the other isn't Fu Wenduo's killing intent. Old Fu, I'm so moved. My Tang thinks I am handsome when I'm feeling murderous. Tang, you're not handsome. You are scary. You can also join my Discord channel to chat with fellow readers about the novels.